Amar'e Stoudemire could be out for an indefinite amount of time because of swelling in his surgically repaired knee. I'm Kerry Chow, joined by ESPN New York's Ohm Youngmisuk. Ohm, what's the latest regarding Amar'e Stoudemire?
Well, it kind of happened at the end of practice when we were talking to Mike Woodson, and like the very last answer, we were talking about Tyson Chandler potentially coming back because he went through a 3-on-3 contact drill, and at the end of his answer, Mike told us that Amar'e is going to be out for a while, and we asked why, and he basically said that he's had some swelling in his knee, and then that was the end of the interview with Mike Woodson. So, last week Amar'e Stoudemire was feeling pretty good, and he was playing well, and he played in 5 games last week, 4 of them coming in 5 nights and 2 back-to-back sets, and he looked good, but that might have been the problem because, he's had 3 surgeries in 12 months on his 2 knees. He's had a history of knee problems, and he played 30 minutes in consecutive games last week. Not back-to-back, though, but 30 minutes in 2 games in a row, and basically it looks like he might have suffered a setback from that. Now, he did play 19 minutes last night against the Wizards and didn't play very well, and now the Knicks are staring at a portion of games where they will not have Amar'e Stoudemire and Kenyon Martin, who has a strained abdominal muscle. They need Tyson Chandler back, and they're going to wait and see if Tyson feels good tomorrow morning after waking up. He went through a 3-on-3 contact drill today. If he feels good, there's a chance that Chandler could play against the Bucks tomorrow night.
Is there any timetable at all as to when Amar'e might return?
No, unfortunately, we didn't really get to have a follow-up with Mike Woodson. Mike just said he's going to be out a while. And anytime you say a while, especially with Amar'e Stoudemire and his knees, that's a definite concern. It could be a long time. The Knicks are going to have to take it really slow with Amar'e because the whole goal was to kind of make sure he was going to be available come, for the playoffs if the Knicks make the playoffs. And then last week, Mike Woodson said that the minutes restriction that Amar'e had starting the season was no longer on him. He could play, extended minutes, and they certainly did. He averaged 25.4 minutes last week. He averaged 14.6 points. He played 2 games in which he played 30 minutes. But I think that might have sent him over the top a little bit because at some point he suffered a setback.
Yeah, and you mentioned all those minutes. Are we at the point in Amar'e's career when playing consistently more than 25 to 30 minutes a game is completely over?
I think there was a chance that maybe he could have played it, but not in 5 games in a week, and certainly not 4 games in 5 nights. Amar'e Stoudemire said earlier in the season that maybe they could use him kind of like the Spurs used Tim Duncan, where maybe they play him in 3 games in 1 week and then rest him for a game and then, have him maybe sit out every other game or something like that. But, Amar'e was saying that he was feeling good and he was starting to get back to his old self, and obviously Woodson needed Amar'e Stoudemire because Kenyon was hurt and there was no Tyson Chandler and Raymond Stelton went down, so he's had to deal with a lot of injuries. But unfortunately now, just as Stoudemire was starting to show, some glimpses of his old self, it looks like he's going to be out for a while.
And finally, you did bring up that Tyson Chandler may be returning soon. How badly do the Knicks need Chandler in that front court?
Oh man, they basically have Andrea Bargnani inside, and that's basically it. No Stoudemire, no Kenyon Martin. They need Chandler in the worst way. Forget about the fact that Chandler is probably their best energy guy, their best rebound guy, their best defender. He does so many things for this team. He might be the most indispensable Knick outside of Carmelo Anthony. But now they really need him. They are so thin inside, so small that they need to bring him back. And who knows how many minutes they could even play him. He's missed 20 games. This is now going to be the 6th week since he suffered that fracture in his leg, and that was the maximum of the timetable when he was supposed to come back. So the Knicks are going to have to try and play it slow with Chandler as well, but Mike Woodson needs wins. And, in order to win, he needs healthy bodies, and he's definitely going to need a healthy Tyson Chandler.
Yeah, certainly the team has been ravaged by injuries. Good stuff as always. He's ESPNNewYork.com's Ohm Youngmisuk. For the latest on the Knicks, be sure to check out ESPNNewYork.com. I'm Kerry Chow with your latest ESPN headline.